Hello everybody.
Hi.
My name is Darren.
I'm Graham.
And we have seen the film Legend, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
It is about the Cray twins, who people forget were a couple of bellends. They were gangsters in the 60s. What are you saying? What?
I guess you could say they were cray-cray.
Oh, you could. One more so than the other. There's Reggie and Ronnie.
Yeah.
Reggie's the dapper, charming lad in this movie. And Ronnie's the out-and-out nutcase. Both are played by Tom Hardy. What do you call a couple of Tom Hardys, Graham?
Oh, they sound like the Hardy Boys.
Oh.
Getting all the jokes out today.
What was the other one?
The one
Cray. Yeah.
Wait, hit its
So
mark.
yeah, so it tells this sort of rise of the craze in the 1960s London.
Not really.
That's why I said sort of rise.
Well, it's not a sort of rise, is it? We only really sort of experience the start.
That's why I said sort
No,
of rise.
but you're talking about the sort of the start.
I'm saying the sort of rise because they don't start from the proper bottom of their life, proper rags. They're kind of on the way up as it is. So it's the sort of rise. It's like the last bit of the rise.
But never mind.
The film starts just
You
before
got
they reach the peak of their powers.
The rise. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's for 110%, but go
on. Just never mind.
Okay. And the eventual decline of their career. Spoiler alert. It's, well, I mean, you know, they're career criminals.
There's no clear progression, is there? But yeah.
Well, that's the thing I always think when I'm watching gangster movies.
Career politicians, career criminals. Is that a thing?
You've never heard of a career criminal. You were the one who mentioned career politicians, so you can't ask me if that's a thing when you brought it into the
No,
subject.
I know the politician one. I've never heard it.
You've never heard career criminal?
No.
All right. Well, it's a criminal who thinks of it as a career. Treats it like that.
Right, it gets it off as holidays and stuff.
Yeah, they get holidays and bank holidays.
Right.
Yeah, I always like when you're watching gangster movies, and they're always like, what was that? I watched Gangster #1 the other day, and it was like 2 in the morning, and one of them got a phone call, and he's like, right, boys, get in the car. And you think, that sounds like work.
Yeah.
Why did you just become a...
You're on call.
Surely the point of being a criminal is so you don't have to work, but you've turned being a criminal into work, so just get a job.
To enjoy what you're
and I understand that they go like, you know, well, we steal more money than you would make, but also the worst that can happen to me is I get fired, you're going to get shot in the head.
Yeah, right in the head.
So it doesn't seem, you know, I don't know.
Possibly in a surprise event. You know,
well, more than likely. I
can't plan for it.
Otherwise that's suicide.
Or execution. Like planned, you know.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even know when they're going to get executed.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't looked at all the possibilities of becoming a career criminal. But so far, I don't see the benefits. This film...
Apart from the money. Go on.
Yeah, but it's not worth it.
And the women, apparently. You get
well,
Browning.
So that's the problem, is that you don't want to glamorise the craze like everyone seems to, because they were a couple of twats.
I mean, the first major scene alone shows them beating up an entire kind of pub full of thugs.
That's not the first scene. It's like the first action scene.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But so the story is told through the eyes of Bimbo Francis, who's one of those girls that just falls for the cheeky chappy that she knows is wrong, but, you know, well, I'll go along with him anyway. I don't want to project too much about my own issues onto her.
Well, you already have by calling him Bimbo.
Well, she is, though. Because she knows he's a gangster, and yet she
just,
goes with him anyway.
You don't have to use the word bimbo, do you? Come on, let's.
Well, she is a bimbo.
Let's calm the language down.
I would call him a bimbo if he was her and she was a gangster.
If
he was in her position and she was in his position, I would call him a bimbo. I'd probably call him a knobhead.
Yeah, well, that's different, isn't it?
Well, what's the difference?
Oh,
I can call a person a horrible thing if they've done something stupid. What's wrong with that? So she's a bimbo, and
she's just a bit silly, a bit foolish. That's all.
You're the one being sexist because it's okay for me to call him a knobhead, but it's not okay for me to call him a bimbo.
Not.
Why?
And that's different anyway.
Why? You're the one that's going lighter on her
because
than you
bimbo
would on
has
him.
Connotations of, you know,
all right,
oppression, a female oppression.
Well, she is oppressed in the film.
No, I mean, I'm saying you are.
Well,
how am I oppressing
her more by calling her a bimbo than if I called him a knobhead?
You know, this slang kind of nickname.
But what should I call her? All right, she's a knobhead as well then.
Yeah, fine.
Why is that fine?
Because it's neutral.
Not really, because you don't really call
bimbo
women knobheads.
has different connotations to knobhead.
Yeah,
so if you call everybody a knobhead or everybody a bimbo, which you actually decided before that you would change them for the gender.
Yeah.
Well then,
but
it has different connotations, doesn't it?
All right, she's a silly girl.
Well, I mean, girl.
Silly bimbo. And,
she's a woman, isn't she? I mean, how old is she?
Like, I don't know, 16?
No, she's older than that.
Like 15 and 364 days. Anyway, so we see
a
him through
misogynist.
her
Yeah.
eyes, and presumably the point of that is you get both sides of the coin. You see him nice because
Well, this
she
is
sees him nice, and then as things turn and she sees him nasty, you see him nasty.
It's almost as if like Ronnie has
Ronnie's
as much...
the mental one.
I know.
You mean
Has
Reggie?
You can't say mental.
I just did.
Has
He
the...
is mental?
You can't... Yeah.
When can I say mental if not when a person is actually mental?
Because it's offensive.
Well, he is mental.
You can't use the word brainstorm these days, you know.
Oh, of course you can.
You can't, because it's something that... Is it
Epileptics?
epileptics?
Yeah, well, I'll make a little brainstorm about why I won't flick the lights on and off when they're in the room.
Bloody
But I'm going to
hell.
call it a
Bloody
brainstorm.
I can't believe you said that.
Well, I did.
I was going to say anyway, Ronnie, I think, probably has the same amount of screen time as the lady. What's her name? Emily
Frances.
Brown's girl. Frances.
Oh, the lady, the girl didn't learn her name. Ronnie, Reggie, what's her
I
name?
would have said the lady anyway. I wasn't
woman.
just trying to be overly PC.
Why are you mentioning her gender as though that's a thing? Why don't you say the person? 'Cause women are people too, great. Mr. Politically Correct over
Yeah.
there.
So I'm thinking that they've got the same kind of screen time, so it does kind of show
But
his influence when he's with his brother, and his influence when he's with...
I don't think that Reggie acts the way he does through the influence of Ronnie.
No, I don't think so either.
That's just what you said.
But he's kind of a conduit, you know. He kind of he's an enabler. If
Yeah,
you
but
like. He
but-
allows it. In fact, I think he does actually encourage some of the more kind of outwardly violent
one?
kind of scenes.
Reggie.
Reggie.
Well, I think the point
encourages it.
is that Reggie's
No,
got...
sorry, Ronnie.
Rennie.
Ronnie encourages it in Reggie.
I think that Reggie's got Ronnie's nuttiness in his head. But
You
he's
can't say
better at...
nutter either.
Oh, for God's sake, yes, I can.
Carry on, you can't.
But he's
yeah.
better at suppressing it than Ronnie because he's clearly a mental.
Yeah. It's like you can see the control. It's like you can see it's always there because whenever he gives that guy a cigarette, he smacks him, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But
He's
that's
got
played
that
off for
influence.
laughs, isn't it? So he punches that guy, and it's played off for laughs. And that is my point that
Is
I want
this
to
the
get
whole
to.
point
I
from
want to get to
4
that.
minutes ago?
So we see him through her eyes. And so obviously we see him as the dapper sort of cheeky chappy lad like she does.
Yeah, he's
and
all
then,
flirty and kind. He's a bit of a teaser and stuff like that.
And then presumably as she starts to get disillusioned by him, we'll see him more in a negative way to sort of balance out the fact they've just, glamorized a horrible person. But it doesn't do that, and this is my reasoning. Spoiler alert, if you've not seen the film or whatever, it implies the film that he kind of sexually assaults her, like he batters her and then he kind of pulls her legs apart and then the camera cuts away. And my question is, why didn't it show that scene when it's happily showed him hammering people in the head with a hammer, which it did for laughs? Is it because hitting people with a hammer in the way that they film it is funny, but there's no real way that he could be considered in any way likeable after he's raped his wife, and therefore the film doesn't show it because it doesn't want us to completely turn against him, which it should want us to do because he's a horrible person.
But it's more, I mean, they're playing with more of like the caricature of the craze though, aren't they? You know, it's not really...
Well, yeah, but
them
they
anymore.
have still shown the nice half of him.
It's about,
so they
yeah.
should show the nasty half to balance it out.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if they're presenting a caricature, then they're not going to be that interested in showing you
So
to
then
the
that's
point where
admitting that
you're
they're glamorising them then, isn't it?
well glamorizing the cartoon version.
Because, for example, another Tom Hardy performance is Bronson, which is very cartoonish, but you don't leave Bronson thinking, I'd like to hang around with him. You think, what a nutcase. He's funny, but he's still insane.
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I meant to call him then?
Oh my god!
I think Ronnie, who hits people with hammers, and Bronson, who's been in prison for like 40 years because he stole a couple of quid and now decided he didn't want to leave. I think it's okay to call them mental.
I don't think it is, but it's okay. Carry on.
Well, what should I call them then?
I haven't got the answer right now, have I? Their names?
But I'm specifically referring to how screwed up in the head they are.
You can't say screwed up. It implies there's a screw loose.
There is
You
a
can't say
screw
that,
loose.
you don't? Sorry.
So I just don't think that this film does enough to ruin the reputation of the Craze as it does to make them seem all nice guys.
But their reputation is already ruined because they were bad people
but
anyway.
People sort of kind of remember them fondly. Even, and I'm going to, I love Morrissey. He's like one of my favourite people. But even Morrissey thinks that the Craze were dealt a bad blow reputation-wise, and that the only reason they got brought down was because they were sort of working-class people and stuff. And you just think, Morrissey, are you insane?
They were just thugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
It's not like they were Robin Hood and they were stealing from the rich to give to the poor. They were cracking people's head over with hammers so they could keep money for themselves.
Yeah. They were making it like an empire, weren't they? This is the whole point.
So, but Tom Hardy's amazing in it.
Yeah.
So the film is good.
But it glorifies violence and it kind of shies away from sexual violence.
Yeah.
This is the whole thing, though. I mean...
What? Trying to wind it down and then you just burst into something. So,
Now I've got your attention. Sex isn't you know, it's taboo still, but violence is very much okay.
So exactly, so show the thing that he does bad.
There's violence and stuff constantly in cartoons and whatever.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not. It's completely normalized.
So then,
essentially,
when
no,
he rapes
because
her?
no, because I think all that this shows is that the film clearly doesn't want to push any buttons. It doesn't want to.
Well, it should
push the boundaries. It doesn't want to push the envelope.
Well, then it
whatever,
shouldn't. Well, why not? It's an 18 gangster movie.
Because of the language and the graphic violence.
Yeah, I think if you're going to show and
not
crack
the
open somebody's head with a hammer, then you.
It's implied rape.
Well, exactly. Why imply it? Because then what? Okay, so why imply it?
Because they want to shy away. Because they're presenting a caricature version of the characters.
So it's wrong of them to not show the negative side of him as well.
I agree, but then again, they are trying to make a product and to
But they
sell.
shouldn't be, because he's still a real person.
They still want to. Well, he's dead now, but
well, yeah, you can't say that. That's he's deceased.
He's expired.
That's going to go into the Monty Python sketch then.
Do it. Feel free.
No, it's fine.
Well, that's probably.
I think people have done it better than us. The Monty Pythons, for example.
Maybe go and look at that if you want.
So.
What is it? What I thought we were done.
Well, we were.
No. I'm agreeing with you. They should have shown it, but they weren't going for that kind of film. They weren't making that film.
Well, then they made an immoral film then, because they just glamorized a gangster.
You're talking about immoral, but you're using all these derogatory words for people with mental health issues.
Well, I asked you what word I should use.
People with mental health issues.
I wouldn't describe somebody that I like as being.
You wouldn't say Reggie. Sorry, Ronnie.
Ronnie's a mental.
He's got mental health issues.
Yes, he does. I agree.
Well, there we go.
He's a nutter.
No.
It's like.
Yes, they should have shown it. I get that. Is it like, well, how would you have done it then? Because in Kick-Ass 2 there was a rape scene.
Yeah, and I didn't like that one. No, there wasn't a rape scene in Kick-Ass 2.
No, but they changed it to make sure it was friendly for the audience.
Yeah, and it was kind of wrong in both those things.
Yeah.
In the Kick-Ass 2 comic, he rapes somebody. I can't remember why I didn't particularly agree with that one. It's been a while, but in Kick-Ass 2, he can't get it up, so he can't rape her, and that's supposed to be a joke. And I don't think that the joke is funny enough to justify the act.
The fact
you know
that
what I mean?
About to rape.
Yeah, that's more horrifying that I can't laugh. So horrifying that I can't laugh.
In fact, Jerome, Jerome, right? There's a group on Facebook or whatever, and he makes art, makes comics.
This is getting really
long. And they're
long.
Swedish. Yeah, I know people are interested. There's a comic.
I'm not.
And it shows right, Popeye.
Right.
And olive oil's there. And anyway, Popeye realizes that Bluto has just kidnapped olive oil.
Yeah.
And he gets to a shop, and they've got no spinach left.
Right.
And like he literally just stands there helpless while Bluto is raping the hell out of olive oil.
What's your point? Why
and he just says,
up?
"I'm sorry."
Who says I'm sorry?
Popeye. He just goes, "I'm sorry, Olive."
Who's he sorry? Okay. So why are you mentioning this? How does that link back to Legend?
Because of the wonderful things he does.
Why does that link back? You've extended
because the point is the humor in that comic is because we've never seen Bluto fulfill his goal of raping olive oil, which is what he's always been intending to do.
Yeah.
And exactly it becomes so much more horrific. However, Popeye always stops him.
Right, yeah. So I'm with you on that so far.
Exactly. So this is the point. So
going back to Legend.
So if you witness what is actually was intended, the actual sexual violence, it just brings it to a whole new point of.
Well, that's a good thing because it is a whole horrible thing. So rather than going, he got raped, but don't look at that.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
They should show it and deal with how serious it is.
They've wedged themselves in a grey area, and
that's what you call your bum, isn't it?
That's a different story. But it's cowardly. I agree.
So you're agreeing with me now?
I've agreed with you all the way.
I don't think you have.
No, I'm just saying that they didn't want to make that film.
So that's wrong with them.
But we agree.
You can't include.
I'm not. No. I don't know if it's wrong or right because
it definitely is.
Why is it?
Because
he actually
spent 2
somebody?
hours. We don't know, and that's the point.
Who doesn't know?
I don't know.
The history.
The people who watched. I watched the film. I don't know for definite because it was too ambiguous. If you're going to spend 2 hours showing a gangster as
that film.
No. Not necessarily. You didn't see it. That's the point.
Okay.
So it happened ambiguously off screen. If you're going to spend 2 hours making him seem like a nice guy, then you've got to show how bad a guy he actually is. Not go, oh, he did a bad thing, but don't look.
What if in a film...
Oh, come on, this is getting rude.
Yeah, one sec. This is a legitimate question. What if, like, say, we made a film about the Queen.
Right.
And it was a biography.
Right.
And something bad happened to the Queen.
Yeah.
Like, she stubbed her toe.
Right.
Right? And the guy in the room... was doing so basically it's implied that she's raped, but it never actually happened. Would that be like defamation or anything like that, or kind of like
I don't know what your question. If the Queen stubbed her toe, would that be rape?
No, because you don't see it, but you just.
Is this a point, or can we just say goodbye?
No. You hear the sounds of her going like ah, oh, ah.
Right. So
it's like bad noises and stuff. She sounds like she's in pain.
So you're saying we film a scene where the Queen stubs her toe, but she stubs her toe off screen, innocent. So it sounds like she's getting raped.
Yeah, but it sounds. It's completely innocent.
I have no idea. Bye, everyone.
Oh, bye.